Welcome back to MCOC AlBundyRules. Going to take a quick look at what Spider-Gwen can do before we start the tutorial on this new 4-minute tutorial of Spider-Gwen. Going to see some pretty dang good damage she can dish out there. 17,000 on just a heavy. Got some pretty good special damage we're seeing. So she can pack a punch pretty dang well. And she's also got some very good utility, some outstanding utility also. One of my personal favorite evade counters, actually. Unstoppable counter as well. So we're going to see all this great stuff that she can do. Starting off with where she shines, building up these charges. As we see over there on the left, there's several ways to build them up. But most of them require damage or very obscure matchup like superior class. The main way to build them up, easiest way, sustainable way anyway, is by spamming S1s. So I'm going to talk more about a good way to maximize S1s later in this tutorial. But bottom line, we'll see right there I'm at, was at 5. That's when it starts really hitting very well. So easiest way is do the S1. You launch the S1, you see it, that builds up, you get a charge right after the S1 finishes. And you can stack up to 5 of them. You start each 5 with 1 and they can stack 5. And that gives you higher attack damage, along with it gives you more increased chance of evade as well. We'll speak a little bit about her evade. One of my favorite features on Spider-Gwen, other than her good damage, is the utility on the slow. So easy to get a nice long slow. All you got to do is a heavy attack. Watch Juggernaut launch the special. No unstoppable comes out because of that slow. Watch Spider getting in Nightcrawler. I featured Spider-Gwen as one of my 5 underrated, overlooked evade counter video a couple weeks ago, and again, this is why she is outstanding. Just launch such slow, you get a long time. So every couple combos, do a heavy, get another one going. And watch thing, I can push him past you if you struggle with thing. A great counter here. I can push him past 15 rock stacks, and he's not going to go unstoppable. So he would normally go unstoppable there. He just went back to 12. So great counter for some of those fights. 550% chance evade accuracy on unblockable. So we saw him evade that S1 from Iron Man. We saw him evade thing unblockable, and we see him evade Doom special 1 unblockable as well. And we're going to go ahead and watch another evade on that unblockable right there. You can't be blocking for that to work though. So on a superior class, as I mentioned a bit ago, you start with 3 additional charges for 4 total, but those are pretty rare matches, but could be helpful on the build up there. Special 1, like I said, you want to focus early on special 1s. You do get the Trap Spider, as we see. It gives you that passive chance for Invenerate, which reduces the amount of power they gain. It also increases critical hit damage, but mainly I like the S1s because it gives me those charges, and I want to build up those charges. So I highly recommend start off your fight doing a lot of S1s, assuming you're not running Suicide Masteries. If you are, that makes that more complicated. Special 2, you get some great stuff. You get some really good damage on this S2, but you also get paralyzed, which is awesome. You see, I got a 4-second stun plus 80% reduced power, so I kept hitting him without his power barely going up. And it does 80% reduce regeneration too for those regeneration champs. S3 here, we get that Hunter Spider for 18 seconds, which gives us extra burst physical damage. So we're going to see this extra red number coming up right here, and so you get some extra damage there. If you combine S3s and S2s, you can get even better. But tip 1, spam those S1s. I like to build up to at least 4 or 5 S1s for any fight with a decent amount of health pool on the defender. That way I can get those attacks going pretty well. You get some pretty good crit damage going on up. Signature ability gives some increases to that as well. It's not necessary to be awakened, but it does give some increases on several utility functions. Tip 2 is using the slow debuff. It can make some tricky fights or tricky components of some fights, like Juggernaut thing, Nightcrawler, very easy and straightforward. Just keep a lookout on that nice long slow debuff and keep it active. Tip 3 is after building up the spider charges, focus on that S2. You get that good damage, you get that 4 seconds of paralyze, which look at, the power meter barely goes up and would reduce regeneration too for regeneration champs. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click that top left popping up right about now. Be sure to subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.